only gets to play 26 minutes. They're still trying to keep her on minutes restriction. They are pissed that she broke this record. They went and started all type of new racial conversations. Sandy Brondillo had to become a victim of a BS racist investigation, all because Caitlin Clark broke a record. And what happened in the game today? They kept her in punishment. They iced her out. Stephanie White iced Caitlin Clark out of this game, but the Indiana Fever still found a way to win by 20 points.
The absolute limit of professional locker room management was shattered into pieces at halftime tonight. The traditional administrative authority didn't just crack, it suffered a complete psychological collapse inside the arena walls. While the scoreboard was actively tracking an absolute offensive clinic, an unprecedented mutiny was unfolding behind closed corporate doors. A generational superstar, completely fed up with restrictive system parameters, executed an absolute public crash-out against her own leadership. But as the teams emerged from the tunnel for the second half, the stadium layout completely shifted. The primary economic engine of the franchise was nowhere to be found on the floor. She was permanently iced out. The coaching staff deliberately kept her pinned to the bench, choosing to sacrifice their own schematic advantages just to enforce an immediate authoritarian corporate punishment. This wasn't a standard strategic rotation. It was a desperate, toxic administrative effort to suppress an athlete who had completely gone rogue against the hierarchy. The front offices are in absolute gridlock right now. The network television executives are completely scrambling to adjust their broadcast layouts. The illusion of team unity is officially dead. The exact moment she stood up for herself at halftime, she didn't just challenge a substitution. She completely broke the old guard's institutional control over the franchise. To fully comprehend the terrifying level of panic inside the media infrastructure right now, you have to look at the spectacular breakdown of the coaching staff's narrative. For months, the legacy sports gatekeepers had been trying to manufacture a polished, corporate-friendly dynamic to keep the rookie phenomenon completely compliant. They wanted her to stay within the lines. They wanted her to follow the pre-approved institutional script. They used protective media spin to justify taking her out of critical game moments, claiming it was for load management and defensive adjustments.
I gotta give the people what they want, and I'm not coming out of this game. Caitlin Clark finally stepping up and standing up for herself against this sabotage coaching staff, against this sabotage organization, and refused to come out in the fourth quarter when she surpassed her minutes restriction. We got to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things. So Caitlin Clark was slotted to come out at the 25-minute mark, and she refused. Okay, and it's comments like this that let you know that Iowa CC, that demon, that killer, is still in there. Okay, let's get to this quote real quick before we get to the footage of what she had to say. She said, "I know what I'm capable of, and I know what this team is capable of, and it's my job to help us win and be the best team in the WNBA, and I don't think we're there yet, so it's my responsibility to help us get there, so we'll keep working." Caitlin Clark understands fully that she is capable of going into GOAT mode, God mode, at any given moment. All she needs is Stephanie White to get.
But tonight, that entire public relations shield was completely incinerated on live television. The raw, unfiltered reality of a locker room war spilled out into the open corridor. The coaching staff sat on the bench with completely stunned, embarrassed expressions as the arena crowd began to loudly turn against them. Their carefully planned administrative authority was completely dismantled by a player who refused to be managed by an insecure committee. The establishment tried to force immediate compliance through a public benching. However, the desperate move backfired completely, exposing their own profound vulnerability to immediate global scrutiny. Let the terrifying weight of this structural shift sink in. This wasn't a minor disagreement over playing time. It was a systematic execution of an outdated corporate hierarchy. When a superstar completely dominated the opposition on the floor while simultaneously battling an internal coaching apparatus that was actively trying to dim her spotlight, the entire traditional business model of the sport became invalidated. The old guard's operational playbook relied entirely on players remaining completely submissive to the brand.